a laptop that you can't use on your lap. Okay. This right here is the ASUS ZenBook 14, the 2021 edition. And I'm just gonna keep this review a little to the point. This laptop is amazing on pretty much all aspects, bar a couple of things. That being said, are those couple of things potential deal breakers? Should you really invest your money in the ZenBook Duo? Well, this is one from GuineTech, and in today's video, we'll try and find the answer to that very question. Let's get started. Alright, so let's talk about the good stuff here, because trust me, there is quite a lot of good stuff here to talk about. First up, there's the design here. Now, ideally you would think it's tough to fit two panels inside a 14-inch chassis, but well, ASUS has managed that. I mean, just look at this thing. It's beautiful, attractive, and of course, you're going to get the attention of everyone around because it's a very unique design too. Also, before I forget, this thing weighs just 1.57 kgs, which is super portable. Now the ergo lift is back and is even better now, because this time even the ScreenPad Plus lifts up at an angle. So you get even better cooling, and it also makes using this panel quite intuitive now. Speaking about the panels, they're both full HD IPS panels with touch support and excellent colors. Of course, the main panel is far better with 100% sRGB coverage and Pantone validation. The viewing angles are great, and it's definitely a delight to use this panel. The touch and stylus support make it even sweeter. Now, as for the ScreenPad Plus, ASUS has bundled a lot of features here, like multitasking better, helping you launch apps faster, stuff like that. But to be very fair with you, I personally did not find myself using it that often. That said, I did use the ScreenPad Plus for what it actually is, a secondary monitor. I open notes in there for jotting things down, open reference links while writing a review like this, and just have Spotify open for easy control over my music. Yes, the display is small, but it still works very well as a secondary display. Now, while we're on the topic of good things, see, I've never really cared about branding, so I do not care about the Harman Kardon branding here, but I was genuinely surprised by the amount of audio output on this laptop. Not just the volume, but the overall clarity also is top notch. Now, another great thing about this laptop is the battery life, which ASUS claims that the 70 Wh battery should last you about 17 hours, which was obviously never going to happen. But in my use case, I was able to squeeze close to 8 hours, which is great considering it's not just one but two panels. Add to that the comfort of USB-C charging, and I can easily call it a battery jam for what it's worth, especially with the kind of hardware that it offers. So far so good, right? Well, yeah, but putting in two panels inside a 14-inch chassis does come with its own compromises. The biggest compromise, and practically the only compromise, is something that you might have already noticed by now: the keyboard and the touchpad. A 14-inch chassis is never big enough for a normal keyboard, let alone fitting a keyboard and then a touchpad besides it. I kid you not, the keyboard here feels super crammed in with almost zero space to type properly. Add to that the fact that there's no wrist rest here, which means you really can't use this thing on your lap. But you need to be sitting upright on a desk to be able to actually type on this thing. So much so that even ASUS's promotional material for this laptop has everyone just using the laptop on a desk, whether it's in a cafe or at home or whatever. Even ASUS knows that you really cannot use this laptop on your lap. You just can't. The touchpad here is even harder to use. It's way too compact, and yeah, I was almost never using it, to be honest. Like seriously, I just resorted to touching the display directly as much as I could, because this thing is very hard to use. Also, there's the webcam there, which is pretty substandard. I mean, I did not really even bother. Somehow my footage got deleted. Anyway, let's talk about the performance now. So our unit here comes equipped with an 11th gen Intel Core i7 1165G Zen processor coupled with 16GB of LPDDR4X RAM. You get a 1TB NVMe SSD from Intel, and as for GPU, you get the Intel Iris Xe graphics alongside a dedicated GeForce MX450 with 2GB of VRAM. All in all, sounds like a great package, right? Well, practically speaking, it was fine. But the hardware that this thing has to power up, like the two great panels, this was never going to be enough. See, normal tasks are fine, but 2 monitors mean that I have the screen space to have twice the number of apps that I normally do. Unfortunately, there are times when it gets a little too much for the system. Like for instance, if I have Photoshop and Spotify and Edge all open at the same time, launching any other app takes a toll on the system. Also, I like to work with multiple virtual desktops too, so add that to the mix and yeah, this thing does stutter at times when you have a lot of stuff open at the same time. Now, to be very fair with you, it's not like this is bad performance. It's just that I've used laptops with similar hardware, even from ASUS for that matter, that offer slightly or actually more or less better performance than what the ZenBook Duo is offering. So yeah, hence the slight complaint. It's not exactly a complaint because see, I understand you have 2 panels, so obviously it's going to take a toll on your system resources, so that's fine. I'm just highlighting it out for a consumer out there. As for individual apps, Photoshop and Lightroom work perfectly on this, and you can even do some light gaming on the sides if you want to. So, the big question, is the laptop worth its price tag? Well, yeah, it is definitely worth it. But that does not mean you should invest your money in. See, here's the thing, the ZenBook Duo is a great laptop. But it does make you compromise on your keyboard and touchpad. And I feel that for most users, that is a very big compromise to make on. I mean, for someone like me who's a typing enthusiast, I just really cannot tolerate that laptop. I love the fact that I have 2 display monitors. But if that means compromising on my keyboard and touchpad, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I don't want to. So until and unless you're someone who is genuinely going to be making a lot of use of that extra monitor space, I think you'll be better off investing your money into something else. Like maybe even the ASUS ZenBook 13 OLED edition that we recently reviewed on the channel. That's a great laptop and you should easily use it for pretty much every task out there. The performance is great, the panel is exceptionally great, the keyboard is also fine, the touchpad is also fine, everything works very well, especially as compared to the ZenBook Duo. Now once again, I'm not saying that the ZenBook Duo is bad or you'll be wasting your money on it. I'm just saying that until and unless you think you'll be able to make use of that extra screen space and you're fine with using a USB keyboard or a dedicated mouse or just using that laptop on a desk, I think you should be looking at other better options out there. And well, that was it. If you like this video, make sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Ram from Guiding Tech and I'll see you in the next one.